Hello, Aquarius North Node. Welcome to your reading for September, October, November 2022. This is Samara, your feminist alchemist, and welcome to my channel. If you are returning, and if you have found yourself here, also welcome. These readings are for your North Node placement and is not a reading for any other placement in your chart. No sun sign, no moon sign, no... Did I say moonshine? I don't know. I just watched that movie. Moving on. Yes, the only placement in your chart that I read for is the North Node, which is directly associated with your soul's destiny in this lifetime, your soul contract in this lifetime. And we touch upon your South Node as well as a contrast point. If you are feeling this reading, you can give it a like, a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the Feminist Alchemist channel, which will help me connect better to your energy for these readings. And click the bell to be notified when I upload. Do keep in mind that these are general readings, so not all the messages will apply to you, but you can take whatever resonates and leave the rest for whoever else in your Aquarius North Node collective needs to hear that message at this time. The spread that I'm going to use this time around is the longer spread that was given to me by my guide. So this reading is about 45 minutes to an hour. And we start with what they call the universal energies on the outside, the big overarching themes for the next 3 months. Then we go to the 5D, which is messages from your expanded self, higher self, or future self. Where your soul will like to expand to next is how I like to break that one down. And then we do the 3D circle, which is what's showing up in your reality, in your everyday, practical, tangible life as opportunities for your growth and expansion. And then we ask for advice, guidance on how to bridge the 3D and the 5D. That's the fourth section. The last section, I always change not the last section, the second last section. I usually choose different topics. This time I chose alchemy, inner alchemy. In the past, I've chosen past lives, karma, ancestral messages, things like this. But this time we're doing inner alchemy. And then final section, you'll get the last oracle card to kind of sum everything up. And that is, let me just adjust this a little bit. That is the plan for today. I'm going to timestamp everything so that if you can't sit and watch this whole reading today, you can always come back and pick up where you left off. Or if over the 3 months you want to review something, you can come quickly and click on that section of the reading. And with that, Aquarius North Node, I will start your reading with the universal energies. Aquarius North Node, what do you need to know for September, October, and November of 2022? Universal connection, path of the soul. Okay. The cards are sticky today. No, that was just a spill. Just one more card for, oh, okay, I know why. Sorry. I have very specific instructions of how I need to be while I'm reading. And I forgot an element, but I fixed it, so hopefully the cards will come now. Easier. Okay. Whew. That took a while to come out. So, yeah, I said Universal Connection is your first card. Path of the Soul. Renewal. And dreaming. Okay, so Aquarius North Node, I see that the overarching themes for the next 3 months for you energetically are going to have to do with your alignment with your North Node, your alignment with your soul's path, and the resurfacing of dreams that you may have let go of. And this is not to say that you're just yet at this level, is not to say that you will depart from what you're doing to go back to, a dream that you once had, but you'll certainly revisit the dreams that you had over the years, expanding your whole lifetime. Things will start to, you'll remember things that you loved doing, hobbies you used to have, interests you used to have, and I'm seeing that you'll be able to connect the dots more in your story. You'll see how the past has led you to where you are, and it will give you a renewed kind of energy for what is to come in the future. I feel a very backward-looking energy as opposed to a forward-looking energy in the next 3 months. So a lot of looking at the story of your life. Oops, sorry. A little accident there. But yes. Any other? No, that's the major themes that they want to. So universal connection, path of the soul, renewal, and dreams. We will get more into it as we move through the different dimensions, let's call it. Okay, so I'm already on your 5D. Oh, I went there instinctively, so I will stay there. 5D messages. Okay. So I usually stick to the just a moment. I had some cards flip over. I want to know if they want them. They do. Okay. I usually only use the Sacred Geometry decks, 2 of the Sacred Geometry decks for this section, but I was prompted, prompted, and I felt in the energy around us that there's a lot of earth energy that needs to be discussed at this time. What are we looking at? Sorry, this is... So that being said, I have to ask and make sure that it's placed as they want it to be placed. All right. Aquarius North Node. Your 5D expanded self, your perception of yourself will be under your personal microscope in the next 3 months. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. And next to it, you have the Counselor, which is the Knight of Cups, or Knight of Water. I see a call for you to be more loving to yourself and loving in your gaze on yourself. It's time for you to look at your journey in a way that makes you the hero of your story. And there's something cathartic and healing. You have the healing card here. You have the alchemy. There's something very healing about stepping back from your story and looking at yourself as a character who you would see in a movie, a protagonist in a movie or in a book that you would want to root for, right? And that character is not without their flaws, not without their challenges, not without things that they do, like, when they hear a noise in the basement and they go down and they look and you're like, don't go look in the basement. Like, why would you do it? You're yelling at the screen, telling them not to do that. But at the end of the day, you still want the best for them and want to root for them. And it's time for you to be that character for yourself. And the Counselor, along with Alchemy, by this universal connection, is trying to teach you how to own the emotions you have, but allow them to work for you in a different way, like in a way that is for your highest good and for the good of... I was about to say the good of others, and then they stopped me because this is all about you. Like, if anyone else enters this reading, I don't anticipate anyone else entering this reading. So, if you have a very rich fantasy life, it's also time for you to make an attempt to be a little bit more present in what's going on in your current reality, because that's actually where the magic and the healing can start. So we have the card Alchemy. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. Yeah, we all, fantasize about, being taller, shorter, slimmer, smarter, faster, richer, poorer, not poorer, but I don't know. I don't know. And that's, having dreams is healthy. It's about making sure that you understand that what you dream comes into being. What you think about, you bring about. Thoughts turn into things. And it all starts in the etheric realms with a vibrational signature. So, you're doing yourself a disservice with your magical abilities, your alchemy, if you don't recognize the tools that you have at hand in your actual present physical reality. You need to observe what you have created so that you can begin to heal what needs to be healed. The frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. So you have to dream, yet be present in your present at the same time. Resist escapism, or channel it into super creative places. You have the 4 of fire. And as I said, channel it into super creative places. You see, very focused with the passion. The passion and the energy is super focused. And alongside it, you have the 8 of water, which would be the 8 of cups. Which to me is a very nostalgic card. Yet, what I'm feeling from this deck, which takes a pretty wide departure from the traditional deck, is that part of your renewal is actually a reawakening or remembrance of your ancestry, your star ancestry, your divinity, your uniqueness, your wholeness, however you like to think of that spark within. But you're bringing back pieces of yourself into this current time and space from your dreams and things that you let go of. And that is also, I find that these two energies, the healing energy and the one that is, so the one that's very present and the one that is very aware of being a multidimensional being more than what you are or have been up to now, more than what judgments people put on you. I feel all of that energy needs to be very focused into what type of life, what is it that you want to create for yourself. And there will be a lot of healing in creating and even just doing those daydreams and creating that, asking yourself those questions and answering them honestly. And then you have the 8 of Earth, which is the 8 of Pentacles. This figure is, has all the tools at their disposal. They do, however, need to put in some work. This, to me, looks like an initiate into a tradition of sorts. Obviously has also made some progress already. But there's so much power, so many tools, keys, jewels, crystals, herbs, berries, the third eye, the staff, all of the beings that they can communicate with. There's a lot of magic around them, and they need to learn to be discerning and learn how to use what it is that they have been gifted with. So I feel this to be a very explorative time for you, and you'll figure out a lot of how you want to move forward with your life in the next 3 months. Let's see what is going on in your 3D. Aquarius North Node 3D. Situations and opportunities. Oops. This one fell this way. The Eight of Wands. Page of Pentacles. No? Okay. Page of Cups. And the Four of Wands. Wow. I'm happy. It's a very harmonious energy that nothing came up in the reverse, so that's good. So and you got the Four of Wands again. And then you got the double of it, the Eight of Wands. So I feel that there's a lot of things moving forward in your life that you're not quite sure that you want to dedicate yourself to, but there's already momentum behind them. And this could be dating a certain person and things are evolving quickly. You may have accepted a job that is already kind of not exactly what you pictured, but you've already made certain changes in your lifestyle, moved financial plans based on your new employment. Those are just a couple of examples. I try to stay high level energy so that everyone can find themselves within that spectrum of energy. There are some things that you've committed energy to that you are not sure that you want to go through with. However, they seem to be moving, like developing at a fast pace. The wheels are already set in motion. So the Page of Pentacles is for a lot of people, the world is only now starting to open up, going into offices, being able to meet in person, going out to dinner. You may have overcommitted yourself to many things, is what I'm seeing in the Page of Pentacles here. What's good is that you haven't shied away from learning or trying new things, it seems, but I feel you've said yes to a lot, possibly for financial reasons, even though it doesn't quite resonate. You're not quite sure how you feel about being in that place long term, or if that really is the direction that you want your life to go in. The Page of Cups, yes, I feel a questioning, inquisitive type of energy of what is going to make me happy. And I do feel a kind of resistance to change as well. Resistance to change, and some of it may more be subconscious. because the space you've kind of built for yourself is comfortable enough. This is what I'm getting from the Four of Wands. The space that you have built for yourself is kind of comfortable enough. Things are working in a way. So there's a part of you that doesn't want to rock the boat. Of some of your behaviors, routines, lifestyle choices. And I'm going to leave that there and let the cards then speak to how to bridge these. And then we'll get a fuller picture. We have another 8, the 8 of Cups. We have the Sun, the Page of Wands. Aquarius, North Node. Bridging the 3D and 5D. Oh, there was one other thing. And you got the 7 of Swords and the 2 of Wands in the final position here. On the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups. Oh, the 8s. So far you have the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Swords, not the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, or the 8 of Earth, and the 8 of Cups, and you have the 8 of Cups twice. So, first thing they're advising you to do is take the time to take a walk down memory lane. And that walk can be a very physical 3D walk, like looking through photo albums and driving through your old neighborhood. It can also be meditating in order to access past life experiences. Or to ask questions about your star ancestry. Because remember, all of this is grounded in your North Node and what your overarching energies are, which is you realigning with your soul path. And I feel that the energy is not, sometimes I feel like very urgent pushing energy. This is not that. This is a very introspective, it's very warm, get to know yourself kind of energy. And do realize as well that while you may be comfortable where you are more or less, and I mean physically and also like literally and figuratively, where you are in your life is not the full expression of yourself. So another strategy that you can take, action that you can take, is really understanding, how much light you have and how much you are capable of shining. Nothing came here to say super self-love other than like the healing and the dreams. They want you to realize that so someone out there has a very rich fantasy life. So you may dream of yourself on stage, for example, or in certain situations, but you don't feel that it can be that in your waking life. And that is exactly what blocks those things from ever happening for you, is your belief that it can't happen. Understand as well that although you may want to stand out in the crowd, that you also need the crowd as much as they need you. So there may be some changes in your perception of how you feel about the people that you work with or need to work closely with. Because once again, you need to be aware of what's in your present environment in order to make the magic and to get on your life path. You need to be paying attention. It seems you need to pay attention some. But I'm finding it interesting that the energy around it is so mellow. It's like an embrace. It's like a very warm embrace. Page of Wands under your Page of Cups, and on top of the Four of Wands down here, Four of Fire. You do need to start taking baby steps to making these dreams over here come true for your healing. It doesn't have to be one huge dramatic step. It can be bit by bit, small decisions day by day, but focused. And you need to start acting from the heart, that rhymed, in order for you to live a full heart-led existence. You do need to start practicing using that, your heart as your guiding force, and actually not just your heart to create your dreams, but your heart to motivate your actions. And then the last position here, you have the Seven of Swords and you have the Two of Wands. Don't be afraid to take a risk, but do all your research first. I am seeing like the two options here, and I think you do have this major fear of, if I go this way, how long, what's going to happen? Or am I going to trap myself? That also for me has a little bit of, this bittersweet Eight of Cups energy, the combination of these two cards together, because it's like, and the Eight of Wands. Am I going to get into something that I'm not going to be able to stop the momentum of? Or am I going to be, walk into the sunset and be in a better position after this? The best thing that you can do, the same here, you're researching, you're learning what your tools are, you're learning how to use your tools, Do also make yourself, soothe your anxieties or any worries you may have by doing the research that you need to do. Ask people, read up on things, get divination done, do divination yourself. Write lists, pros and cons, take a very structured approach to any life changes you're really considering undertaking, especially the ones that give you the most anxiety. And the ones that give you the most anxiety may not even be the big things like moving or buying a house or changing a job. It could be, changing your diet, cutting out coffee, or any other behaviors or habits that you feel like you may need to change. And that give you any type of anxiety response around it. All right, so let's go to your alchemy cards here. See what inner alchemy you are working through in the next 3 months. You have dissolution, resin, glass, and Saturn. Ooh, Saturn. Wow. Sorry. The reason I make that noise is because Saturn retrogrades for me are just so much. I know this doesn't say retrograde, but it's just the gravity of the planet. Its influence is large. In dissolution, I see you really working through understanding yourself as part of the whole. And being willing to let the current vision idea of yourself kind of dissolve into the sea of all possibilities. Because remember, your counselor is here in your 5D is also the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Water. And I feel this energy of you being called back to, to be in that whole sea of possibility again, to reform, recreate yourself. And the fear of that is that your ego is like, no, I understand myself to be this. And we can't be that because we're this. And this is working with that polarity of I don't want to use the word polarity, but we're dealing with the ego's ability. You can totally recreate yourself by, ignoring or dissolving your ego. The ego doesn't go away completely. It's going to keep something, but the reality is how you think about yourself is ultimately how you are, right? And you can always return to the sea of possibilities to create a new, walk through the world in a new way. In that, you will then also be working with the material of resin, where, you formulated some very rigid ideas of what should be and how it should be. And in September, October, and November, you will be looking at whether those things help or hinder you. And what hinders you, you will then go back to dissolving, right? I like these two together because you have like a very hard substance and then you have water. But resin, like really, if you do, I don't know how long it would take to break down resin with water, but I know you're not supposed to get amber wet, for example. it damages it. Going off on a little tangent and understanding the materials themselves as well in order to verbalize what I'm feeling through these cards. But that is, you may have some very fixed ideas. It's what they're saying. Have some very fixed ideas. Like they also, fixed ideas of success is something you may want to look at. And fixed ideas about, successful people do this. Successful people have this. People like me are supposed to do this. And the people like this do live like that. Like, I don't know, if we're talking living in a certain neighborhood, moving, wearing a certain brand of clothing, or making things by hand as opposed to buying them. Those are the examples that they're also giving me, because some of those things are also locking your soul away from expressing itself in the way that it wants to express itself. Then you have glass. And I feel like, you have the opportunity to actually, look through a window, look through a portal, if you do decide to dig into your star ancestry. Some of you may ask, how do I do that? Well, depending on how comfortable you feel with meditating and listening to your intuition, you can ask, and you could be asked to be given a sign. It may not come in that moment. For some of you, it will come in that moment. For some of you, within 72 hours, usually, you would get some sort of sign. And you can also ask for certain parameters, like, I'm not going to say like, if I'm Syrian, press 1, and if I'm Arcturian, press 2, type of thing. But, at least a way that helps you distinguish between different groups, for example. I'm just giving examples. Please take whatever action feels right to you. But I feel there's a good set of you in this reading who are ready to learn more about the nature of your soul and what you came here for, and more so than in the 3D sense of what career am I supposed to have, who am I supposed to marry, and I don't do those type of readings anyway. So they're saying that, yes, you're ready to know more. And the fact that you're here, curious, already tells you a lot. It's what they would like you to know. And then we have Saturn. Oh, I find it very interesting that this energy is so mellow and calm, yet in this corner, I feel like your whole world will look very different next year. And that will be all because of what happens mostly in the next 3 months on an internal level. So your whole inner world is changing. You have alchemy, healing, and dreams, and the sun, and Saturn. Like, you can't get more transformational than that, and big transformation. I feel like the reason why this energy is so comforting is actually because it's not going to be like bland tower moment, my life has changed and I feel adrift. It's honestly because the guiding principles of what you value, how you understand yourself and how you understand the world around you, how you understand yourself in the world is actually where it all begins. How you understand yourself in the world will fundamentally change. And when that fundamentally changes, your vibration changes and everything around you will change. So, but in a good way, right? In a very good way. Let's pull your final oracle. And the final oracle for Aquarius North Node. I don't know why you're so sticky for me today, Aquarius. Oh, okay. It went flying behind me. So, great big love. That is very interesting. I feel like this love is for yourself, first and foremost, but let's find out. I'm just going to read directly from the guidebook because honestly, first of all, I don't want to tell you something that is not associated with the card. And second of all, this deck has really been very good at wrapping up these readings today. So I'll just continue with what has been working. 26, great big love. Also 8. 2 plus 6 is 8. You have a lot of 8s. Please look up the numerology of the number 8. Love without conditions, romantic love, and how that experience changes you. Deep and profound harmonious connections, soulmates. Love heals all wounds, begins all life. It sustains you when you are starving for grace, when you stumble and fall, and when you lose sight of your purpose and fall prey to the limited perspective of the ego. Now is the time to fall in love and call in the awareness of the big love that made you, which is ever pulsing through your veins. There's a heightened sense of awareness in the beginning stages of a relationship when nothing else matters but who is in front of you. You see them, you see yourself in them, and you move in sync with the cadence of your hearts. You surrender to the magic you share and engage in a harmonious dance that is seamless in its movements, rising and falling with each moment, each breath. Although this card may portend such an intimate connection, you don't have to wait for a partner to experience it. You're being invited now to explore love in all its beauty. Can you love without conditions, without needing things to be perfect? Do you love your life, what you do, and how you contribute to the world? Today, invite love with a capital L into your inquiry. You will be amazed, and your very question may be changed as a result. Love is the strength you need today, the lens you must look through to find the truth and your way. Love is the way, and the only answer. This whole reading is about your heart and following it and using it and remembering where you come from, which is a place of so much love. And with that, Aquarius North Node, I will leave you. I'm always grateful to be a messenger for you. And I will be back next month with an update, a short, 15-minute update for your North Node sign next month and the month after. Your next 3-month reading will be in December, for December, January, February. And until then, I wish you all the best. Do take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.